Okay, so there's a danger that often Christian creatives fall into, and it's the idea, and I'm guilty of this too, but it's the idea that we think we know what God wants for us, and oftentimes it's thinking that God isn't involved in our art or isn't involved in our career. And so we live our lives honestly heeding to the voice of society. We live our lives according to what our parents may say, or what society thinks is acceptable, but never fully asking God what I can draw. You gave me this gift, so what do I do with it, right? For years I was hiding because I thought, well, God doesn't care about this gift. He doesn't care about my career. He doesn't care about where I'm going, or what I want to do. He's just like, he just cares about us being saved and stuff. But he's God and he's in everything, right? If Jesus called us to go into the world, he didn't necessarily mean we're not all going to touch every country in the world, but our world, right? Your community. What are the gifts God has deposited in you right now? And how are you using that? Because in the end, friend, you have to account to God with all the gifts he has given you. Remember the parable of the talents, and how he gave some 3, he gave some 2. Some people cultivated and added more to it, and other people decided to be afraid. What are you afraid of? If God deposited that gift in you, cultivate it, become better at it, right? I didn't start out writing a book. I was writing, poems here and there, and I was writing small little stories. But in the end, that cultivates to something you can now, in the future, you have something to account for. And most people might think you're an overnight success, but it started years before. They don't see that part, right? But God is in all of it. He's in our art. He's an artist himself, right? Why? If he's a creator, he created us then to create. All the things that you see in this world today, if people are healers, right? We go into medicine, that's because God is a healer. So what makes you think if God can paint the most beautiful sunsets, why can't you also? Why would he not care about our art? Why would he not care about your writing? Why would he not care about what you're doing in your art? Stop hiding that gift that he gave you, and now go back to him and ask him what he wants you to do with that. Because we think we know what God wants for us. We think we can, he doesn't care about that. But how did you know? If he placed that in you, why would you die full of the gifts you were born with? Empty it out. Empty it all out. Die empty. Okay? God cares about every single part of our lives, including the gifts he himself deposited. And now it's up to you to ask him what he wants you to do with that. Just my 2 cents. Bye.